In this video, you'll learn how to create animations like these using metal shaders. We'll go through how the GPU turns a few lines of code into real-time effects, and this is just a few of them. There are over 20 different metal shader animations in the full project. We'll break down 3 of them step by step. By the end, you'll understand exactly how they work. Think of your screen as millions of tiny dots. Each dot calls this function to figure out what color it should be. The function gets 4 pieces of information: where this dot is on screen, its current color, how big the screen is, and how much time has passed. First, we remap where each dot sits. Instead of counting from the top left corner, we shift everything so the center of the screen becomes 0. That way, dots above center are negative, dots below are positive, and the middle is the origin. We slow the time way down. Multiplying by 0.05 makes the animation flow gently instead of racing. And we set a very thin line width. This is what makes the rings razor sharp and glowing. We start with pure black. Then we loop 3 times, once for red, once for green, once for blue. By building each color channel separately, we can offset them slightly to get that rainbow color bleed. Inside each color, we stack 5 rings on top of each other. More rings means a richer, more layered effect. This is where the magic happens. Length UV measures how far each dot is from the center. That's what creates the circular shape. Fract takes our slow time value and loops it from 0 to 1 over and over. That's what makes the rings expand outward endlessly. Now, the glow trick. We're dividing by that distance. When a dot lands right on the ring, that distance is almost 0, and dividing by almost 0 gives a huge number, a bright glow. Dots far from the ring barely light up. That's why the rings look like they're made of light. The slight offset between red, green, and blue in time means they don't perfectly overlap. That's what creates the rainbow color separation. And the diagonal modulo adds a subtle wobble across the rings, giving them that organic ripple instead of being perfectly smooth circles. Finally, we return the color we built. Every dot on screen runs this exact same function, but because each one has a different position, they each get a different color, and together they form the glowing, expanding rainbow rings. Same centered UV setup as before. The center of the screen is 0. Time is slowed down. Now imagine a smooth terrain of random rolling hills. That's what value noise generates. Give it any position on the screen and it returns a smooth random value. Not jagged, not blocky, just gentle hills and valleys. We create 3 layers of this noise, but here's the trick that makes it look liquid. We take the output of the first noise and use it to shift the position of the second noise. The second layer doesn't move smoothly anymore. It bends and folds because its coordinates are already warped. We do it again with the third layer. Each one distorts the next. This technique is called domain warping, and it's what creates that flowing, folding motion that looks like molten metal. We take the final warped noise and apply pow to push the contrast. Bright areas get brighter, dark areas get darker. This gives the sharp metallic look with distinct reflections and deep shadows. Now we paint the chrome. We define 4 shades: near black shadow, silver midtone, bright highlight, and a subtle blue tint. Mix blends between 2 colors. Dark areas get the shadow color, bright areas get the silver. Smooth step acts like a soft switch. It's off below one threshold, fully on above another, and smoothly ramps between. This means only the very brightest peaks get the highlight color, just like real chrome where reflections are sharp and concentrated. For the final sparkle, specular highlights. We raise the chrome value to the power of 12. That extreme power crushes everything to near 0 except the absolute brightest spots. Those become tiny, intense white sparkles, like light catching the edge of polished metal. Every dot runs this same function, but because domain warping bends the noise differently at every position, each dot gets its own unique shade, and together they form a surface that looks like flowing liquid metal. Same centered UV. But this time, instead of using X and Y directly, we convert to polar coordinates. We take the distance from center, that's r, you already know length does that, and we use atan2 to get the angle. It measures the direction from center to each dot, like a compass reading. Every dot now has two values, how far it is and which direction it's pointing. Here's the trick that turns a flat screen into a tunnel. We take 1 divided by the distance. Dots far from center have a small inverse. They appear close in the tunnel. Dots near the center have a huge inverse. They appear far away, deep inside the tunnel. Just by flipping the distance, the flat screen gets depth. We add time to that depth value. This scrolls the entire tunnel forward, like you're flying through it. The tiles rush towards you from the center and fly past the edges. We use floor to snap the depth and angle values into a grid, whole numbers only, no in between. Then we add them together and take f mod by 2. If the result is 0, it's one color. If it's 1, it's the other. That's how you get a checkerboard, alternating dark purple and light purple tiles wrapping around the tunnel walls. Same glow trick from before, dividing by distance. Near the center, the distance is tiny, so the glow is bright. A soft blue light sits at the end of the tunnel, like a light source deep inside. But at the very center, the inverse distance shoots to infinity. It would blow out to white. So we use smooth step to gently fade everything to black right at the center. It cleans up the singularity and gives the tunnel a natural vanishing point. Every dot converts its position to depth and angle, looks up its place on the checkerboard, adds the blue glow, and that creates a tunnel you feel like you're flying through.